So the first thing you'll notice is how close to lunch we are. But secondly, that my title is a little bit ominous, Plight of the Poor Disperser. But it needs to be ominous because I'm discussing threats to a known bad disperser right here in South Australia that is in decline and has already experienced local extinctions. And that species is Cunningham skink. So here it is. For scale, it's about the same size as an eastern bluetongue, so actually quite large. It's a social animal, and it's a habitat specialist. So as you can see from the infrared, they rely on rocky outcrops for basking sites. And because they specialize in a naturally fragmented habitat, their distribution, as shown in the top right, is also fragmented. This, as well as the poor dispersal ability, leads us to suspect that this species might be at risk of future climate change. So to investigate this, we modeled the climatic niche of the species using various climate variables. You can see the mean summer temperature in the bottom left. And we projected the future distribution of climatically suitable habitat in the late 21st century under different carbon emission scenarios. And you can compare the top and bottom figure here, and you can see actually that the current distribution lies within some stable climate refugia, which is a rare good news story. It's one less thing to worry about. However, this only tells part of the story. We also modeled the dispersal simulations of the species, taking into account the fact that it's not known to disperse more than 500 meters from its outcrop. And what you can see from this short animation here is that while they display dispersal capacity, the lack of outcrop structure is leading to long-term isolation of populations. And it's likely that this is happened throughout the historic evolution of the species. However, recent anthropogenic disturbances of increased fragmentation beyond natural levels and analogous research in eastern populations is showing early signs of inbreeding depression. So to manage the species effectively in South Australia, we need to increase the connectivity of habitat. And how might we go about that? Well, perhaps the most straightforward way is just to improve the management of our current outcrops. So that's things like removing blackberry weeds beyond a certain distance, or maybe altering our fire regimes if we know outcrops are occupied. In areas that are climatically suitable but actually lack outcrops, we might consider some artificial structures to bridge the habitat gaps. And we can tailor the structure of these outcrops to the microhabitat preferences of Cunningham skink. Now finally, it's been discussed before, but in regions that lie far outside the actual dispersal capacity of the species, we might consider assisted translocations. So just an example, Kangaroo Island has low depth to hard rock, so it's likely to have a lot of rocky outcrops. It's climatically stable, so it's a potential candidate to set up an insurance population should local extinctions continue on the mainland. And our future research is going to evaluate the feasibility of these different strategies to help get Cunningham skink off the list of threatened species in South Australia. Thank you.